hey everyone, welcome back to the Holy Donuts podcast sponsored by WeGive. Today I am joined solo. Unfortunately, no guests today, but what I want to do is a quick recap of the NIO summit that I got to attend last week in Dallas with a ton of other incredible nonprofits, some of them faith-based, some of them not. It was hosted by our friends at Next After. Go ahead and sign up for next year if you haven't yet. Sponsoring this is just a completely free plug because I think it's an incredible event if you're in nonprofit marketing or in donor engagement. So top 4 things I learned. The number one thing that I learned, maybe just confirmed what we already knew, what we've been preaching a little bit around here on the podcast and with our companies, is this: donor retention is the best bang for your buck in nonprofit marketing land, right? It takes so much more money to acquire a new donor than it does to optimize for your current donors. So create systems and processes that keep your donors in-house, that are sticky for them, that make them want to give more. Share stories of impact. Create seamless tools and technologies that make them actually want to give to you instead of making them feel frustrated. That was the number one thing that I took away from it, is that donor retention is a huge ROI for your nonprofit. The second thing that I learned, or maybe took away from this, was that technology is a game changer for your nonprofit. Your tech stack has a significant influence on how effective your ministry can be. So if you've got an outdated tech stack, there's a really good chance that you have systems, processes, and people that might be unnecessary on your team, or maybe people who could be redeployed to doing something more effective. Without the right tech stack, you're almost undoubtedly repeating steps you don't need to be. You may be constantly frustrated with systems that don't work together well because you've just got the wrong tech stack. So reevaluating your tech stack, figuring out, hey, do we have the right CRM? Do we have the right general ledger? Do we have the right marketing tools? All those tools talking to each other well. That is critical in 2023 and beyond to make sure you're optimizing and engaging with your donors in a really, really powerful way. Third thing I took away from NIO is just the importance of human connection, the importance of learning from others in the industry. If you're siloed, like a lot of us are when we're doing nonprofit work, it's really hard to break out of that sometimes. So you need to seek out opportunities to learn from others who are at larger organizations, from smaller organizations, upstarts. I mean, I was blown away, really not with the huge nonprofits I got to talk with, but some of the new upstart ones, they're just doing incredible work and blowing up by taking risks, by doing innovative things, by having an entrepreneurial spirit. But you don't get that unless you go and talk to those people, unless you get outside the bubble of your nonprofit to go work, learn with, and have fun with other people in the nonprofit space. So take the opportunity next year, go to NIO, find another conference, find people who are in your community or in your state that are also doing nonprofit work, learn from them. It's not a competition. There's plenty of resources to go around. All you're going to get is a net positive from that. And the number 4 thing that I took away from NIO this year is that you have to be everywhere to your donors as much as possible. Donors are on their phones, or on their devices 24 hours a day. It seems like 365 days a year. If you're just relying on 1 or 2 channels to reach your donors, or the same 1 or 2 acquisition strategies, there's a really high likelihood that you're leaving a lot of meat on the bone, right? So you need to be looking at, how are we hitting every single channel of digital? How are we hitting every physical channel we possibly can within your resources, within your constraints, but trying to figure out, hey, for the donor we're trying to reach, how do we feel like we're everywhere to them all the time? So that could look like a lot of different campaigns. That can be like a lot of different strategies, but the importance is that you have to feel like you're everywhere for your donors all the time. So a lot of strategy we can talk about, and excited to talk about with future guests. That's the other kind of hint, sneak. Had a lot of great future guests that I got to meet at the NIO Summit, and that will be coming on the show in the next weeks. But just wanted to get this out to you this week to let you know a few great things we learned from the NIO Summit, a few things that we confirmed for ourselves. And as always, lots of fun new resources coming to the Holy Donuts podcast soon. Hope you have a great week. Be well.